the schedule, going back to Indianapolis, but on the road, back to back. How much do you think that plays in? How tough is that to deal with in a game like this against the Liberty?
I mean, that's part of being a pro. I mean, we can't think about the schedule. Everybody's having back-to-backs. I mean, we just got to come in, be prepared, locked in, and be attentive to the details in the scout.
Obviously, All-Stars in Indianapolis, so maybe a little less rest for you all in that it's your city, but how important is rest going to be during this All-Star break?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're excited to be hosting. I think Indiana has done a wonderful job of preparing, and I think people are really going to love what they have for everyone who's going to be there. But for us as a team, we need to make sure that we're getting our rest, that we're taking care of our bodies, that we're mentally kind of getting away, getting a break. But we talked about in the locker room, like we don't have time once the break's over to kind of slowly work our way up. We have to make sure we're coming prepared, that we're dialed in, and that we're hitting the ground running when we're back.
For either of the players, obviously it's been a crazy stretch. You hit adversity once more yesterday. I mean, how would you describe like what the mood is for the team, just knowing you got to this break, knowing how tough today went, and kind of what you guys need to focus on as you guys approach the second half of the season?
The mood of the team is okay. I mean, we were talking before the game, and we were just like, we're all we got, so we have to stick together. Things are going to happen like that. And like Coach said, we faced a lot of adversity. We're either going to grow through it or we're going to be bitter. So, I mean, I think obviously we want to grow through it. So, I mean, we just got to come in, reset, and just be locked in and just ready to play.
For either of the players as well, players talk pregame about how you guys have done this without Caitlin Clark before, and you've had a lot of experience, but just how difficult is it getting into a game with 24 hours since your last game, going back to rotations from 4 or 5 games ago?
Yeah, we'd love to have her. I think we all know that when she's playing, it's a whole different team, and then when she's not playing, we're a whole nother squad. So it's adjusting, but I think that we've seen both sides, and we're confident in both sides. And we did play not even 24 hours ago, but we're pros. That's part of being a pro, and everyone has this. And so how are you mentally going to lock in? How are you physically going to try to get rest, but just make sure that we're a unit? And I think we were together tonight, but we were just a step slow, and we can't do that. We have to set ourselves to a higher standard, and hopefully we move forward and learn from this one.
I guess, Ari, just building off that, what did you make of the team's energy tonight?
I thought we had energy in spurts. I mean, I think it could have been better. We could have been more consistent, and it's just disappointing. I mean, that wasn't us. That's not how we play, and that's not our identity. But I just think, again, it's about us and stacking days. So, I mean, we see them again after All-Star, so we just got to go back to the drawing boards and just, make the adjustments and just be better.
Steph, one of the few positives from tonight was Kelsey Mitchell officially passed Mickey Catchings in most threes in franchise history. Just what does that mean for Kelsey, and what does that mean for this franchise as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, that's what a great honor for Kels. So, Catch is cornerstone of this franchise, and Hall of Famer, and for Kels to be able to continue to chip away at a lot of those records, I mean, is an incredible honor for her. I mean, she's been playing outstanding basketball. She's been offensively at times putting us on her back. She's been doing such a good job of getting good shots and getting her teammates good shots and stepping up and making big ones for us. So yeah, I'm proud of Kels.
We know there's a big meeting coming up tomorrow regarding the CBA. Ari, I'm curious from your perspective, you've been on the receiving end of kind of being in and out, a replacement player. We know that players are advocating and want to see maybe a softer salary cap or an extra position on the roster. Have you been vocal in these conversations just because of your experience and knowing the importance of maybe an additional roster spot?
I haven't been vocal on that, but I think I just gotta, educate myself a little more, talk to Sove and just talk to Breezy and stuff like that. But I mean, I'll definitely be in the meetings and just taking notes, this weekend.
Yeah, Steph, just kind of on tonight, New York shot 58%. Just where did you see the breakdowns defensively?
Yeah, I thought it started with us just being really soft. They didn't feel us. They're an outstanding offensive team. They're obviously an outstanding defensive team too. And we didn't disrupt at all. They didn't feel us. There was no resistance. We weren't in passing lanes. We let them pass the ball and move wherever they wanted to. So it's outside of just execution of schemes, it's having a little bit more fight and resistance on the defensive end. And when you give a great team with lots of Olympians and a lot of talent, space to operate, they take advantage of it. And so I just felt like from the jump, it wasn't that we didn't play hard, but we didn't play smart at times and we weren't disruptive enough.
Steph, I don't know if you noticed or heard about it, but during the game, Caitlin got honored as the WNBA Player of the Year in the ESPYs. Just what does it mean to have her impact so far? I mean, there are a lot of really good players in this league, and she got honored as the best player in the league by the ESPYs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she continues to get new awards. She continues to break barriers. She continues to do things that we haven't seen before. I mean, obviously you think about the Stewie's MVPs of the league and, championship winners, and Asia's MVPs of the league and championship winners, and of course Sue Bird, who was sitting, in the building today. And, Caitlin is so fortunate, as well as all these guys really. I mean, that they don't know anything any different than the WNBA. Right, like they've seen their idols play, they work their asses off to get to where they are, and to be able to be honored, whether it's the ESPYs or whether it's league awards or whether it's All-Star or whatever. I just think they continue to then lead the way for the other young players that are watching. So we're proud of Caitlin. An ESPY's a big thing. And we're going to continue to support her. But at the end of the day, for our team and our group, yes, we have momentum. Yes, we have one of the greatest players in the game, but collectively we got to put it together. And we've got to continue to lean on one another and be better.
Steph, with the break now officially here, what do you see as the priorities for this group? Is it about rest and reset? Especially just given the uncertainty about what the next few weeks will even look like. Mm-hmm. What do you guys need to do to be that version of the team that you want to be? Yeah, I think so. I think rest, mental, physical, emotional kind of reset. Look, we faced adversity. There's no doubt about it, but we've also grown through it, and we've talked about it from day one. And no matter what keeps coming at us, every team in the league has faced some sort of adversity. We've got to stop talking about building consistency, and we got to start doing it. Mm-hmm. We got to understand that every single day we're going to see opponent's best shots, and we got to be ready for it. And then we got to find, I think, some sort of dog in us, right? Like we play hard, and at times when we can be disruptive and be really good on the defensive end, and at the end of the day, that's got to be consistent for us. That's got to travel. There will always be days where we don't make shots and we're not quite in a flow offensively, but I think our mentality on the defensive end has to come back strong, it has to come back sharp, it has to come back hungry. Mm-hmm.
Steph, what impact would an added roster spot have, do you think, when you're considering the injuries across the league, whether it's, again, replacing an injured player or just having that extra person or potentially even two?
Yeah, I think plural, extra spots. Back in the old days, I think we had 15, right? We had 15 and we had 2 on IR at the time. But it's not just about having players every day in practice or building, most rotations are 8 players, 9 players, whatever. It's about when injuries happen and you need somebody else that's going to be in the rotation, that you've had players who have been in practice every day, that have continued to get experience. It's about building quality depth in our league so that when we have expansion drafts, we've got players who are ready. Mm-hmm. And it's about continuing to grow young players who might not be ready as soon as they come out of college. I mean, you think about the NBA and how they draft, and they draft on potential, and they develop that potential. They're not expected to go out and just make the team. That's why they have the G League. That's why they have those positions and lots of player development guys that are working with them every single day. I think it's time for us to grow in that area. I really do. And then we'll be prepared. And last year when I was in Connecticut, we had multiple times where we had to have hardship contracts. And especially towards the end of the year, it's hard to get players to come in on hardship contracts, and they don't know the system. You're teaching them things on the fly. Not everybody's area that comes in and just gets it right away. So I think it's important. I think it's a next step. I think it's a natural next step, and it's time.
That was a good freaking answer, dude.